guys, welcome to Lisa Loves. Today I have a few videos to get through. There's a couple of tags and my May favourites, so we're on the last day of May today. I'm hoping to get these done today. We shall see how it goes. Let me see. First of all, we'll start with the Leatherface tag. This is one created by my friend Sean Erschen. I'll put his details below and a link to his original tag. If you do this one, obviously, if you let Sean know and give Sean credit in your video, so I can add it to a playlist if he's going to do that. Okay, so Leatherface is the original movie, is one of my all-time favourite movies, so I had to do this one. So I'll kick off. There are 9 questions, so I'm going to kick off with number 1. Who is your favourite character aside from Leatherface in the franchise? Right. This is a bit of an odd answer, but I'm actually, the character that always sticks in my mind when I think about Texas Chainsaw, apart from Leatherface, is Grandpa Sawyer. In the original movie, at the end with the dinner table and where they try and have Grandpa hit Sally's head above a bucket with a hammer, I just found that absolutely horrific. When we see Grandpa, we think he's dead. He doesn't even look alive, so he just really sticks in my mind as a really creepy, just awesome character in a movie. Not that he's got a lot of dialogue, but he just sticks out for me. And obviously, if I had to say someone else, it's going to be Dennis Hopper's character, Lefty. He was awesome also. Number 2, which actor portrayed the best version of Leatherface in the franchise? No brainer, Gunnar Hansen for me. The first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as far as I'm concerned, is far and away superior than any of the others. As a matter of fact, 1 and 2 are the only ones really that I consider to be particularly linked together as being the... I know there's a lot that followed, and they're fine movies in their own right. Absolutely fine. They're enjoyable, they're good movies, but to me, I don't link them to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre or even the second one. They're just a separate entity to me. So Gunnar Hansen. The main thing I remember, I'm waffling, I'm going to waffle. I remember the first time I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was on the TV, it was a really bad quality, I was quite young, and I found myself, I just was flicking channels, it was on, and I could not pull myself away from it. I was very young at the time, so it wasn't the type of thing I was really watching a lot. I'd watch all the mainstream horrors, but that one is not one that would have been like rented in our house. It was probably seen as a bit too much, but I just could not drag myself away. And the reason for that is Gunnar Hansen's portrayal, the way he moves, his jerkiness, his entire persona. He does not have to utter one word in that movie to me to be chilling. So yeah, Gunnar Hansen. Number 3, who is the better final girl? Sally from the first movie or Stretch from part 2? Right, well, we have to say Stretch here because although Sally in the back of the truck in the first one at the end, covered in blood and screaming, is such an iconic, aside from the really famous Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster with Leatherface swinging the chainsaw in the air, I think the next sort of like iconic image is of Sally in the back of the pickup truck, and I love that image. I love the fact she got away, but as other people have said, we do get to know Stretch a lot more. She's a bit more well-rounded, she's intelligent, she's not a typical screaming Mary. I cannot be doing with it, women screaming and being stupid in movies. Stretch isn't that way. She's a good character, she's one that women can also, you know, like be happy with as the lead female in a horror. She's not pathetic, she's not useless, so Stretch. Number 4, what are your thoughts on the continuity issues in Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Right, I've said this about something else. I don't really, there are obviously continuity errors. I don't particularly mind if things don't follow chronologically. I'm quite a fan of an entirely new movie with new characters. I did like the fact number 1 and 2 were obviously linked together. 2 was 13 years, I believe, after 1, and we have the family. I do think they shouldn't have tried to introduce a similar premise in that introduce a whole new family. That in itself they shouldn't have done. They should have just come from a place with a different, entirely different story. Yes, have Leatherface as the character in a new story, in a new setting even. But it doesn't really bother me when they don't follow rigidly to the previous movies. I just don't like them replacing key characters with someone entirely different, supposed to be that same person. That kind of bums me out a bit. Number 5. Does R Lee Ermey make a better evil sheriff or evil drill sergeant? Right. I have to say, as much as I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he plays a very similar role in both movies, but the role as a drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket, that movie is awesome, and I think if everyone thinks about that movie, the first person that you see is the drill sergeant, is R Lee Ermey. I love his role in that. I think it's similar, but it's more powerful. It's just a perfect role for his type of acting technique, for his personality. It's just awesome. So yeah, I'm going with the drill sergeant in that one. Number 6, my wee book's fallen to pieces. That's not good. Number 6. Do you think Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 should have been more of a straight up horror movie? Right, so obviously we know that the first one, I've just noticed my hair's on it. The first one is much more creepy, ominous, serious. The second one is a lot more OTT. It's got that element of black humour in there. It's a lot more gory and horrific, but we've got Tom Savini on the effects for that sort of horrific goriness, which you can't have anyone better than Tom Savini. I much preferred the tone of the first movie. I found it more creepy, I found it more unsettling, it disturbed me more, I thought it was the better movie, but I also really enjoyed the second one. I did like the black humour, I did like the gore. So do I think it should have been a more straight up follow-up? Probably not, because I like the fact that the first movie stands totally on its own as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to that sort of ominous, creepy, sort of feel. So yeah, I was happy with the second one. Number 7, who is more evil and sadistic? The real life serial killer Ed Gein or Leatherface? Right, okay. You can look at this question 2 ways. Obviously Leatherface is a fictitious character, so you have to go with Ed Gein. But if we say that Leatherface is a real person, a real character, obviously everyone knows that Leatherface is based on Ed Gein. Even if Leatherface was real and the situation was real, I'm still going to go with Ed Gein. Because although Ed Gein only killed, well, was proven to have killed 2 people, a lot of people think he killed a lot more. I tend to agree. Leatherface he was mentally impaired. A lot of what he did was under instructions from his family. It wasn't that he was evil and sadistic in himself. I don't think he knew any better. Right, and there's a perfect example of that when in the second part he does not kill Stretch. She begs for her life and he like doesn't kill her. Much to the distress of is it hot? I'm not even going to try. Chop hot. Ignore me. Right. Ed Gein was twisted. Did everything that he did because he was twisted. The really weird mother relationship again. When Ed Gein's mother, everyone knows who Ed Gein is and what he did. When his mother died, he sealed the entire house off and only used one little room, so he preserved everything the same as when his mother, psycho much, was alive. He was often seen in a graveyard. He grave robbed, I believe, 10 corpses of middle-aged women, supposedly because they reminded him of his mother. He made a dress of a woman's body, so skinned a woman and wore a dress of a woman's body. He had a belt made of nipples. He had bowls made of human skulls. He had lampshades. I believe he studied sort of Nazi techniques, and you know what them did. Yeah, so I think Ed Gein is a twisted individual. He wasn't like the lumbering, soft in the head, being instructed by someone else type person. He was just an evil, evil son of a bee. And a lot of people believe that he actually killed his brother when they were children many, many years ago. His brother he said that there was a fire, I believe, and later his brother's death was ruled asphyxiation, and a lot of people believe that Ed Gein was responsible for his brother's death. Anyway, that's a big deviation, as is always. Number 8. What is your favourite kill in the franchise? Right, okay. This is easy. In the first movie, the one scene for me that stands out more than any other and that I will never forget and that typifies Leatherface is the first kill in the movie. I believe the guy's called Kirk, and Leatherface hits him over the head with a sledgehammer and he sort of like convulses and falls down. It's not so much just that. Well, first off, it's the brutality of and the quickness of it. It's just bang, and it's like, oh my god, have I just seen that? We're used to more of a cat and mouse thing. We're used to like slight injuries. We're not used to something being that quick and that brutal and that realistic, and it was. It's actually the part after he's fallen where he drags him backwards and that infamous door slam. That creeps me the hell out no matter how many times I see that. It's the movements, it's the stiffness, it's how quick it is, it's how brutal it is, and that is the first reveal of Leatherface, and in my opinion the best ever reveal of any like killer in a movie. So yeah, that's my favourite death. I also like the one where they hook the person on the hook, but anyway, that one. And number 9, and lastly, what is your favourite line in the franchise? Right, obviously I'm not going to remember them all off by heart, but the one about head cheese. My brother makes good head cheese. Do you like head cheese? But I've written one down that I really like. I'd remembered vaguely the quote, but I couldn't remember it all off by heart. So this is said by a drunk man in the first movie. So he says, "Things happen here they don't tell about. I see things. You see, they think that it's just an old man talking. You laugh at an old man. It's them that laughs and knows better." So yeah, I like that one. Let me see, is that it? Yep, that's it. Number 9, and that's the final one. So big thanks to Sean for the tag. I love Leatherface, so I really enjoyed that one. Sean has tagged so many people. I do not think there's anyone he has not tagged that I am aware of. I am going to tag my husband, the Gonk Father. I know he loves the first movie as well. I'm not too sure of his viewpoints on the others. But yeah, I'm tagging the Gonk Father. And of course, as always, anyone else that wants to do the tag, it's wide open to you. Sean has tagged most people that I would normally tag. So yeah, that'll do me for this one. I'm now going to go do a creature tag, which may or may not be up this evening. We shall see. So, it's over and out from Lisa Lives.